This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're installing aftermarket drilled and slotted brakes on my 335. If I haven't updated you guys yet, I sold my other car because it was fucking garbage, and I bought myself a 335. So I'll probably be making a video of like my new car and explain where the fuck I've been. I should probably do that. So today we got ourselves. Oh my god! We got ourselves a. This is massive. This is what the fuck is this? This is a front drilled and slotted brake rotor, and we're gonna be complementing that with some ceramic pads. I'll just show you guys the basics on how to do it. If you want a super detailed video of how to change the brakes, I actually have a video already that I did on my other BMW. I'll put the card right up here if you guys want to go check it out. That's like super detailed. It tells you everything you need to know about changing brakes. But yeah, for this car I'm kind of just gonna go super fast, show you the quick things that you need to do, and then really get into the video. So before I start anything at all, just so you can tell between the rears and the fronts, is that this gap here, your fronts are always going to be bigger than your rears, and that also has to do with your brake pads. Your brake pads in the front are always going to be bigger than the brake pads that are in the rear. Also, so like this diameter here is going to be much smaller than this right here. And for the back, the rear sensor, if you guys are going to get one, this is usually longer, and the brake pads again are smaller. And these are the front brake pads. They're bigger and they fit perfectly with the size of that front rotor. And this brake sensor is like super small because it's literally, they're all right next to each other. So I already have the car jacked up. I got my lovely assistant here with me, Maria. And yeah, so things you're always gonna need besides the rotors and the brake pads and the sensors, you're gonna need a jack to lift up your car, some basic hand tools to undo the bolts on the car. You're gonna need something to crack loose this little bolt right here. What I have here is a basic chest full of these tools, and I have a, if you can see it, I'm using this hexagonal number 6 to undo my bolt on the car to take off the rotor. We're gonna need gloves. We're gonna need again some sockets here, a light. We're gonna need this hammer if it's stuck on, and probably is gonna be. I need this brake caliper separator, whatever you want to call it. Some breaker bars, 3/8 electric ratchet. Oh, and or like a pry tool, or a flathead screwdriver, because you're gonna have to pop off like this pin. I'll show you guys, no worries. And honestly, that's it. There's not much to it. It's just the know-how of how to do it more than anything else. So first and foremost, before you do anything at all, you need to make sure you could crack this bolt in particular loose. The one I'm talking about is this one right here. So what I have here is again my hexagonal number 6 with my Stanley toolkit. You gotta make sure that this bolt right here, hold on, wrong way, you're able to crack loose. Now I already cracked it loose. If you can't crack this loose, there's literally no point in doing the job, because if this can't come out, then you can't take the rotors out, and that really honestly defeats the purpose. So yeah, if that's done, next up you could go right away. You could take your screwdriver and you just want to pop this off. If I could fucking do it, there we go. That's one side, that's the other side. So this we're going to be reusing, so don't just throw it away, keep it aside. And next up we're going to remove 2 bolts in the back behind these dust shields. There's 2 of them, one on top, one on the bottom. And when we take it out, that's going to take off the caliper, and then we're going to have to suspend it. Alright, so here, this is the top bolt. As you can see, I've already taken it out. So what I used to get this out, I used the same size that I used to take off this little bolt on on the rotor here. If you get to this point, you'll realize that it's gonna keep spinning. So what I do is I take a screwdriver and I push it out, and you kind of just pull it out like this. There we go. And like here, you just pull it out and it comes out from there. And that's one bolt that holds on your caliper. Well, actually the whole thing to the rotor. So you're gonna put this aside, and after we're gonna clean that before you put it back in, and we're gonna put grease on it. And now that the top one is out, that was right here. There's another one. I don't know if you can see it. It's inside here. And then you'll be able to remove the caliper, the brakes, the brake pads, this caliper bracket, and then the rotor. I didn't film putting everything back together, but it's gonna be the same process for putting it back together for the front as it was the back, so you're not missing out on any content. But I was also distracted by this rather large package. If you're interested, stay tuned. It's gonna be next video actually, which is gonna be today. So I'm not changing for anybody. So these are the rears, they're done and they look hella sexual. We're gonna do the fronts. We're gonna, again, same process as all other brake jobs, except if you have an e-brake that is electric. You can't do that shit, just bring it to a garage, you're better off. I tried on my mom's car, Audi, forget about it. We're gonna be taking off first with a screwdriver the bracket that holds the caliper onto the caliper bracket, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're gonna take that off with a screwdriver. Then the two bolts in the back, I believe it's a size 7 hexagonal bit. You take those two out, remove the caliper, set it aside, hang it on I don't know, springs if you can, whatever, doesn't really matter. Then the two size 16 millimeter bolts for the caliper bracket, you remove that, take it aside. Then that the screw on the rotor, I believe it's a size 6 hexagonal bit. Take that out, rotor should come right off. It might need a little bit of loving for it to come off. You just beat the shit out of it with a hammer basically. Then you put everything back together, and I'll do that all in slow motion. I mean, whoa, Jesus, no. We're not making a movie, we're making a YouTube video. And then I'm gonna put that all in fast forward so you guys could just see that. If there's anything really important that I'll need to mention, I'll just tell you. Let's just start. I don't know. So a little update. I took everything off, put the rotor back on, taking off the bolts that hold on the brake caliper bracket. Literally the hardest part. They were stuck on so hard. What I did to take them off, finally, I put my ratchet onto the nut, the 16 mil, and then I was hitting it with a hammer. So yeah, now I got everything mounted up here. I put my bolt back. Now I'm gonna use this to retract the caliper back into itself, you know, the thing that sticks out right here. I don't know if you can see. I already cleaned the brake rotors with a brake rotor degreaser, because from the factory they come with a bit of grease on them. I'll do my driver's side off camera because it's literally the same thing. I doubt I showed everything again in this video. If you want to see the full video of how to properly do brakes, all the details, it's an 18-minute long video. I literally show everything. It's on my channel if you want to check it out. Next video is gonna be filmed also today after I clean the car. I'm gonna add something to the car. That's your hint. It's a very aesthetically pleasing mod, so if you're down to see what I got on that big box that I showed you earlier, stay tuned, subscribe, and hit that bell notification because I'm gonna be putting it up within the same week as this video. Without further ado, let's just finish this freaking brakes. Let's go. Alright, so off camera I put everything back together. These are the brakes now. Everything looks mint, everything's back together perfectly. So now all that's left is the braking procedure, and that consists of literally just driving it, stopping, driving, stopping, driving, stopping, until you feel that the car is actually safe enough. I gotta clean the car and do the next mod that you guys are gonna see in the next video, but I'm doing it right now today. That's very quickly, without me being too detailed or showing you much, how you change your brakes properly. And over here I put drilled and slotted rotors with ceramic brake pads. Ceramic are the quietest, they make the most dust, but where you're a car fanatic, that's why you're on this channel, you're watching, you're gonna clean your car often, so it doesn't really matter. Before you do this project, be sure you have time on your hands, because things might go wrong. You're learning, right? I'm learning on this car. It's the first time I do it on a 335. Everything is completely different, well, to a certain extent, than my previous BMW. Just the front brakes are a little bit different, but it's really okay. And to squeeze the piston in the caliper, I ended up finding from a neighbor around here like a C-clamp, and with that I squeezed it together. That worked very well. It went back in its spot. I was able to fit in the pads first, then I put the bracket in. I secured the bracket while it was still off the car to the caliper. Then the caliper I put on the car, and then I bolted that on like that. Then I went over everything, checked, you know, if everything was tight enough, everything was good, and yeah, car looks actually really good. Like, this is my rear. You could barely see it on camera, but yeah, the car looks amazing. But yeah, it's really that simple. Takes time, like I said, but it's very, very doable. So I appreciate you guys clicking on this video. I hope it was helpful. Again, if you want something more detailed, check out my other video that I already posted on my channel that goes through everything. And if you guys are interested in knowing what I used today in terms of tools, I guess I could do something in the description that could just say everything I used. Generally I use cheap tools and they work, so to go buy an expensive tool, I don't know, it's just, I don't see the point in it. That's why I'm pro DIY. You guys could do it at home. I'm 21, I'm doing it at home on the street. Like, who cares? Without further ado, guys, I appreciate you watching, for clicking. If you've enjoyed it, if you want to see what's coming up for this car, because this is a 335, I have a lot planned. If you guys are interested in the 335 content, please smash that like button, the subscribe button, and the post notification bell, because you'll definitely be hearing from me. Alright guys, thank you. See you in the next one. Peace.